Hello my fellow Italians and welcome back to Hetafax. Today I want to talk about this guy.
But Kolka, you always talk about this guy.
I know. Anyways, we're going to talk about this guy's name again. I know, I've talked about this so many times throughout my other videos and even through my games. I even got into a really heated debate on this on DeviantArt. But I am going to drill through all of you people that go, I know it's supposed to be Tolys, but I'm just going to use Toris anyways. Those are the people that frustrate me. It's one thing if you're new and you don't know. Believe me, I've made this mistake numerous times in my past. And the Wikias and literally every Hetalia info page does not help with this. But without further ado, let me explain why Tolys is important. This is basically one big complaining letter to the fandom and to the people that run the Hetalia wikis. But before I begin, let me explain the whole Toris-Tolys argument. A long time ago, Himaruya gave a select few nations human names. However, for some reason, he decided to write them all in katakana, much to the frustration of many. So Lithuania, being one of those nations to receive an official name, received this as his name. In katakana, it is Torisu Rorenaitisu. As you all know, there is no L in the Japanese language, and this is where the confusion comes into place. The fans translated his name as Toris instead of Tolys. I am going to explain why this is a mistranslation and why it should be Tolys. First of all, the name isn't really a real name. And if it is, it most certainly is not Lithuanian. Some people say it's popular in the US. To those people I say, where the hell do you live? Because I have lived here most of my life, and I have never met a Toris. I can't even find one by searching through random people on Facebook. But do you know what I do find? A few Tolyses. All Lithuanian. Okay, after recording all of this, I did finally find some record of Toris being a name, but only in the United States. But there is no background to the name, no website knows what it means or where it comes from. It is pretty much US specific, and it is even rarer than Tolys is in Lithuania. Apparently, less than 100 people are recorded to have had the name. Tolys has a written down meaning, since Tol means far away. What is my source that Tolys is more accurate, you may ask? 3 Lithuanians. There's only like a few million Lithuanians left. I know Lithuanians are hard to come by, but just ask them. They will be more than happy to talk to you. Some say Toris is more of a dog name, though Tolys is a rare Lithuanian name as well. But it could be short for Tolmintas, Tolviras, or Tolvesias. And honestly, I would want to be called Tolys too, if my name was a long monstrosity like one of these 3. I have done my research on Lithuanian male names, and I have learned that in Lithuania, there are some rather unique names compared to the rest of Europe. For men, almost everything has to end in an S. So someone argued, what if his name is based off of Thor? I thought that this was a very good point. I mean, Finland has a Danish first name and Estonia has a German last name. Well, Estonia's last name comes from the von Bach house in Tartu, but... Anyways, maybe he got the influence from somewhere else. I don't even know the origin of Toris because I cannot find it anywhere. Though, if it is a Nordic origin, it would be very probable, since most male Lithuanian names are just common European names with an is, as, us, or whatever added to the end. Toris would make sense and follow the name rule if there was any record of it, which, after checking with the Lithuanian name database that went to the 1800s, there isn't. Also, if you translate Thor into Lithuanian, it would be Toras with an A, which would be completely different in katakana. Also, while countries like Estonia and Finland have a high mix of Scandinavian blood due to their history of Scandinavian rule, Lithuania doesn't really have a big history of Scandinavian rule, so it really wouldn't make that much sense. But why does it matter? Isn't it just like the Elisabetta Ersabet thing, or the Tino Timo thing? And people use different names for Norway and Denmark, so why should it matter? There is a difference between his name dispute and others' name disputes. Denmark and Norway don't have official names, just numerous ones stated by Hema. And the whole Hungary's Elisabetta versus Ersabet thing and Finland's Timo Tino thing have something that this dispute doesn't. In that country, both would be seen as viable names. Toris would not be seen as a name in Lithuania, because it already has a different meaning. This is the reason why this gets under my skin. Toris in Lithuanian is already a word. Toris is the Lithuanian word for thorium. If you don't know what that is, thorium is a radioactive element next to uranium on the periodic table. Thorium is actually used in most modern nuclear power plants and in a lot of nuclear weapons because it's safer to work with than uranium. And it is a lot easier to find than the right type of uranium that you need. Anyways, that's science stuff. To be honest, if he switched names with Belarus or Ukraine, I would not have a problem because it would be funny and ironic. But I don't think that people name their kids after elements on the periodic table. If you were to name your kid Toris in Lithuania, people would look at you rather strangely. So every time you call this guy Toris, to him, you are calling him a radioactive element. And seeing how Lithuania was affected after Chernobyl, and due to his inability to understand jokes, I do not think that he would take it very well. And that is why Lithuania's name is Tolys, not Toris. And that was 1 mark higher on your history test. Thank you for watching Hetafacts.